What is happening, guys? Call of Duty Black Ops Kid here, coming at you with another game review. Today we're going to be reviewing Mario Kart Tour, or just Mario Kart for the Android and iOS devices. This time around, it's actually not bad. I thought it was actually pretty good. It's free. There are some loot box issues, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. This game is definitely different than, I would say, Dr. Mario that came out not too long ago. But this one's actually pretty good. Unlimited plays, so there's no heart systems in this time around with Mario Kart Tour. There's also some unique things. There's really good level designs. There's actually interesting things like characters. You don't unlock them, or you don't have all of them. You have to unlock every single character. They're kind of locked behind loot boxes, so that's kind of unfortunate. And certain characters on certain areas will actually get more items per level. So say if you're Yoshi on the Yoshi Island stage, then you automatically get 3 uses plus extra styles. And that's how styles are used to get extra levels, which then get you better ranks, and then of course get you better items and rubies and all that kind of stuff. So that was one thing that my biggest complaint with Mario Kart Tour already was the loot boxes were pretty heavy, and the only way to get characters was to use these. I actually used 10 loot boxes by playing just the game in general, by ranking up. You get rank ups by just playing and beating levels. That's really it. Sometimes you don't even need to win levels to get stars, which stars are used to unlock the other cups. And there's a lot of replay value here. But at the same time, once you get so far, there's nothing else to do. You have a total of 220 stars, or I'm not sure how many, I think 220. And you get gifts and free stuff along the way, but there is a recurring monthly subscription that automatically unlocks characters and other things. So if you're really a person that decides to buy things in this game, there is a lot of things to buy. It's kind of like Clash of Clans Gold Pass as well, where you get free things for paying $4.99. I haven't used the Mario thing, and I really don't want to, because this game is just, it's so unique. I really liked the design, but at the same time, there's no point for me to really continue playing if everything's locked behind loot boxes. Sometimes you can place first place thinking that you're going to get the 5 stars, but you only get 4. You have to really grind to try and unlock characters so you can get extra styles, so you can win the race. Sometimes you can place like 3rd or 4th place and still get 5 stars. So sometimes it works in your favor, but most of the time it doesn't, because the farther you get, the harder players you play against, which is obvious. It's not very difficult, but it gets tedious kind of quickly. There's one thing I also want to mention that's kind of bad about the game is the controls. At first it wants you just to swipe left and right to turn, but it also makes you drift. There is an option in the game that lets you use tilting controls to move left and right. Also, the game is vertical, which I assumed would be horizontal, making the game a more idle and more beautiful experience. Although this is not the case. You can tilt left and right to turn, or drift left and right to drift, obviously. Drifting is easy as dragging left and right on the control pad, which makes it drift, obviously. Drifting and getting coins while hitting people give you combo bonuses to make your score increase. This is something I really thought was different, and the overall game is actually pretty enjoyable compared to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One thing I wish that they would start implementing is actually unlocking characters in the mainline Mario games, not through loot boxes, of course, but through just normal play. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe honestly kind of just gave you all the characters, and all you did was race. That's the only thing I could really interpret. But this makes you grind for it in an unpleasing and unsatisfying way, where you have to actually buy characters or grind your way up. And that was one thing I kind of did not like. There are some unique stages that haven't appeared in the Mario mainline game in quite a while. The graphics are fairly decent and actually have some pretty decent replay value. And honestly, overall, to play the character you want, it's going to be nearly impossible unless you spend money. You can get a decent amount of rubies just by playing the game and leveling up, and there is no wait times, like I said, like Dr. Mario. Other than that, there is some fairly bad things about the game, but I did really thoroughly enjoy it. I'm actually 150 stars in, grinding to get some of the 1 star or the 4 stars to 5 stars to get all these things as well. So that's one thing I'm working on currently. And there are leagues that give you extra bonuses. I'm not really sure how some of these things work, how you're placed or anything, but some of the people you play against, and especially in the beginning stages, are just absolute doo-doo and don't actually play very well. I also placed in every single race nearly in first, and sometimes you could still not get the win or the 5 stars. So that's one thing that was kind of frustrating and kind of not fairly fair. There are some challenging stages at the end of every cup, which actually gives a little bit of a diversion from all these standard Mario Kart titles. And actually I found these stages to be quite enjoyable, but some to be tedious or repetitive. I did really like this idea, and I would like to see something like this come into a mainline Mario game as like an extra mode maybe to unlock certain type of characters, because I think this would actually be a pretty nice addition. Overall, I don't think there's really any new characters as far as I saw. You can't really see any of them anyways. There's not really a title select screen as far as I'm aware. But the one thing is the issue that I would really want to push away is characters behind loot boxes. I know Nintendo has to make their money back somehow. I would rather have seen them do... I'm not really sure out of a good way. Every one of their main Nintendo titles that are on Android or iOS just happen to be filled with loot boxes, and that's kind of unfortunate. I really do like the games, and I really did enjoy most of the things about it, but the main thing would be the controls. I wish it would be horizontal, not vertical, because then of course in this gameplay and the review, everything is vertical, so the sides have to be filled with something or just nothing entirely, and that kind of sucks. Everything else played out pretty well. The characters being locked behind loot boxes is kind of unfortunate. I'd rather have seen this played out differently or unlocked through levels instead of loot box only. That would have been much better. I guess it kind of is that way, but you're randomly getting either carts, gliders, or characters. There's like over 100 things, and you can level up so you can get duplicates, so you're not guaranteed to get every single character, which is kind of unfortunate. But at the same time, it is what it is. I'd rather see something different played out, and I mean it's already out. Overall, the score for the game out of 10, I'd probably give like a 7 out of 10. The main thing, the drag, I would say, would be the overall character unlocks, and of course staging, which getting stars, and of course loot boxes everywhere and pay to win finascos. Even I'd drop it probably down to 6.5 out of 10. I'll probably do that instead. 7's probably a little too gracious, and I'm probably set at 6.5 is probably too gracious for me too, but I actually enjoyed the game, which is something I want to implement. Is that Mario Kart Tour isn't a disaster. It is quite fun, but there is some things that are aggravating. Like I would say, the loot boxes are apparent. You can spend over $100 and get quite a bit of different unlocks, but I don't want to spend $100 on a game that is just not worth my time. I'll probably play it a couple more times before just leaving on my phone to never play it again. Just like Dr. Mario, I played it for the review, got really far, and then just stopped playing it because I just thought it was not very fun afterwards, or very appealing. This game is also only online, so if people have a phone that doesn't have access to the internet or Wi-Fi, you have to be online as far as I know at all times. There's only a very few circumstances that you're not online. Yeah, that would probably be it for the review. I actually enjoyed it, but there's a lot of things. If you guys have been playing Mario Kart Tour, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Like the video for the review. I've been playing since like 7 o'clock this morning, so I've been playing for quite a while, so I would appreciate the sleep and the gratuity on the video as well. That would really help me out in terms of scope and people enjoying. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the review. There's going to be some more great content coming very soon. I'm sorry that it's been a while since the uploads, and I'm trying to get back on the schedule. So I appreciate everyone watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.